Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 80 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. Today we are talking about one of my favorite exercises, the Lifeline exercise. Why? And with respect to communication, we're focusing on communication this entire month. So each month of this year, we will talk about and look at our lifeline. Why? Because reviewing our lifeline is extremely powerful in getting to know and reflect on and understand ourselves better. And the better we understand ourselves, the better we show up in the world. And this year's challenge is all about being a better version of ourselves, right? Being the best possible you can be, showing up authentically and as who you really are, even when it's hard, right? So today, the Lifeline exercise. What is it? How do we do it? Why do we want to do it? How can it impact our communication? How can understanding how we communicate be better for us and enhance our relationships, give us better results in all the different areas and aspects of our life, etc.? Well, the Lifeline exercise is just a twist on the timelines that we learned in school, grade school, high school, college, if you went. We did and used and experienced tools called lifelines or timelines back then. They're still called timelines. They're a graphic representation of what happens, major events over a period of time. Now, with respect to our lifeline, the steps we take to create one are we gather our materials, right? You need a big board. This is my I can hold it in my hands version of a lifeline that I actually did in 2020, I think. 2020 or 2021 I started this one. And I've used it ever since. I probably talked about it at least once a month, every month since 2020, since the pandemic and everything. So we look at it. We put the year we're born. Yes, I was born in 1960. I just turned 65 last week. Crazy. And that means I have lots of decades of things on my lifeline. And then we go to the year, the current year. I like to go and put an arrow beyond the current year because I don't plan on checking out this year. I don't know about you, but I'm not leaving anytime soon. So then we think about major milestones, major events, major things that happen to us or around us in our life, and we map those out on our personal timeline, our lifeline. And then we look at those specifically this month with respect to communication. How did my sudden cardiac arrest impact my communication? That's a biggie because that changed everything for me. Other areas of my life, more so than communication. Probably I became more introverted for a time period, probably for the couple years after my sudden cardiac arrest. I was very internally focused and tuning into what I needed to do and what I needed to change in my life in order to still be here talking to you today. That was a huge impact. And that meant my communication probably went way down in terms of communicating with other people. However, my communication with myself went way up. So we want to map out those events, and then we want to ask ourselves questions about those events, specifically with respect to communication today, because we're focusing on our life events impact and our lifeline impact of communication. And I like to actually graph in a different color each of these points as I go through it every year. My big lifeline is a disastrous mess. Maybe I'll show it to everybody someday, but it's kind of just personal. Our lifelines are very personal. So I don't, show a picture of mine, but I guess I could create a model one of someone's life, a fictitious person's life, or a conglomeration of all of our lives and put it out there. If that would be helpful, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep sticking with my lovely cardboard, not written backwards lifeline. So today, what are we going to do? We are going to pull out our lifeline if we've already created one. And last month we talked about it, so you may have already started it. And add communication to it. And like I said, you can do it in colored pencil if you want. I like to create a new lifeline every year because it does get so discombobulated. And it's pretty easy to do after I did the original one. It's pretty easy to just put the high points on and the low points and know that I'm going to mess it up when I do each of the 9 different areas of the life framework as I graph it. But doing that so clearly illustrates to me anyway and shows me visually what impacts other things, why I behave and do or have done in the past things that I've done, why I've gone through periods of, I call it it's not, I don't know what I want to call it, I guess, but why I've had different periods of transformation. And I'll tell you right now, I discovered yesterday and was thinking about it this morning when I got up, I am definitely in a huge period of transformation and transition right now. And that means what's going on right now, it's like being a caterpillar, right? You go into your cocoon and you spend some time growing and transforming, and you pop out differently. And I'm doing a challenge, a personal branding challenge, and that's, my daughter asked me a question yesterday that just was like, oh boy, I need to rethink what I'm doing with this. And sometimes you just need one other person, or ask yourself a question, and it opens you up to the possibility of absolutely positively blowing everything up and doing things differently. I think that's where I'm at. I think it's time to do that. All right. Doesn't mean I'm not going to do the challenge. I'm still going to do the challenge, because it's a core value of mine to do something that improves me every single day. And so that's why I love doing the annual challenge. And we'll talk about that more too. All right. If I can help you in any way with this Lifeline exercise, hit me up. But I will tell you, if you do this even just once a year, but if you do it every month, I guarantee you will get transformative results in your life. You will understand yourself better, and not just in communication, but in every area and aspect of your life. So do it with respect to communication today, and look for the possibilities of communicating in ways that you never dreamt possible, because it is possible for you. Anything is possible for us if we just choose to figure it out, follow it up. All right, that's it. Have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.